Welcome to the Pick Truth podcast, where we read confessions that people send us or that we find online and rate them based on the level of heat.
A truth can range from a bell pepper to a Carolina Reaper.
All right, let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of Pick Truth. I'm your host, Dr. Vicky Harris. I'm here with my co-host,
LaMont Hearn Jr.
And we're ready to bring the heat. It's been a very good week this week. It's been a good week. I am excited to get into some, I don't know, I'm kind of excited to get into the truths. It's been fun looking at the Facebook group. It is starting to really grow. Yeah. So if you haven't joined our Facebook group, Pick Truth, just search for us and join the conversations and some of the polls that we're having. We think in the future we're going to do a couple of games and give out some prizes. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And join the Facebook group. So you can always email us at picktruthmail@post.com. And we're interested in hearing your confessions, your truths, as well as any other pertinent information that you got for us. So yeah, check out that Facebook group. It's been pretty fun. Some good commentary out there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been some interesting conversations. And I do want to give a special shout out to a topic on there. I made a mistake in comparing a Harry Potter character and a Lord of the Rings character, and I caught some joking flack for it. But that was my mistake. I do apologize to all nerddom. As a fellow member of the group, I do apologize.
Yes, it was Dobby, right? You were supposed to say Dobby.
Yes.
Dobby. So sad. That death still haunts me. I can't. So I have two today. One of them is just funny. It's like, what? And the other one is thought-provoking. And I really want to know what your thoughts are about it.
Okay. All right. I have one. And I have one this time because it is very long. But I feel like it needs to be told. And I have to see how you respond to this one.
Okay. So how are things going with you? How was your week?
Pretty good. I'm still, flashing back to, the big family trip that we all took. It was exciting. So I'm still just wound up from it. So I'm still just trying to come back to the regular world.
Yes, a big trip to Disney World with even in COVID, you can still have fun at the happiest place on earth. And right? We'll talk more about that in upcoming episodes. But sometimes we're tired. These humans wear us out.
You ain't never lie.
Well, I'm going to jump right into it. I'm trying to think, I'm going to start with my longer one. And then after your long one, we'll do my very short, thought-provoking one.
All right.
The title of this truth is Accidental Chicken Thief. I've never told anyone about this, but I feel compelled to share this with the world. In 2007, when I was 15, my friend and I jumped the school fence one day during lunch hour. We went back to his house as he lived over 100 yards or so away from the school. When we got there, he went into his house through the back door, which led into his house's kitchen. He told me to wait there for him while he visited the restroom, and that I was welcome to take a can of cola from the fridge. So while he was busy in the bathroom upstairs, I went to the fridge, and instead of just taking a can of cold soda, I let my nosiness get the better of me and decided to root around and see what kind of stuff they had in their fridge. I came across a large frozen chicken in the freezer. And upon seeing it, a plan formed in my mind to take the chicken out of the fridge and back to school with us. And then in our next lesson, present it to him. My stupid teenage brain thought this was hilarious. So I stuffed the frozen chicken in my backpack and grabbed a can of cola. Then I waited for my friend to return. We spent about 15 minutes in the house before we had to head back to school so we wouldn't be late for the next class. And for the entirety of the time, I was grinning like a fool. We were laughing and joking about some other stuff that had happened, so he didn't pick up on me being overly happy or excited about something. Anyway, we made our way back to school just before the bell that signaled the end of the lunch hour rang out, and we head to class. Only I had mixed up our timetables. I was under the impression our next class would be together, but it wasn't. Nor would we be in the same class for last lesson of the day either. So my plan to present my friend with his frozen chicken in the middle of class went up in flames. So I ended up spending the last 2 hours of school with a defrosting chicken in my school bag, unsure of what to do. I decided I would find my friend once the bell rang and give it back to him, only it didn't work out that way either. As the class he had been in had been let out 10 minutes earlier than the class I was in. And I didn't fancy trudging over to his house again to knock on the front door and say, "Here's your frozen chicken back." His family would have never trusted me again, and I would have been banned from entering the place in case I borrowed something else. So I took the chicken home and put it in the freezer there. Afterwards, I never heard a word from my friend. I assume I got away with it. And we remained best friends until we left school. When our paths led to different colleges, we failed to keep in contact. I never told anyone this stupid story before, out of embarrassment mostly.
The potential for what could have went wrong with this story is what kept me just waiting to see what else occurred. He missed so many potential mishaps. So many. Oh my gosh. So, first things first, curiosity did kill the cat. We know that. But oh my gosh, like I can't help but think of the potential of things that could have went wrong. It could have been a super hot day. I mean, it could have been issues with, because chickens have giblets, I assume, don't they? Innards and stuff. Mm-hmm. The amount of opportunities for bad things is what's really got me here. And it's such a kid thing to do, to go and steal a frozen chicken. Like in the moment, it's like, this is gonna be the funniest thing ever, and then 20 minutes later, go, this is the dumbest thing ever. That wow. Okay, so I'm trying to think. As far as our rating system, I wouldn't say that this is like, I don't know. I don't know if I would tell. That's the part I'm torn on. Is I don't want to say it's a reaper because of the context that we say keep that to yourself, take it to your grave. But at the same time, it is light. It's not detrimental. So I guess I would have to go in the middle. I guess I would say it only based on our rating. I would have to call it a jalapeno, where I'd say it was spicy because it's still stealing. But it's also so silly. Mm-hmm. It's so silly. And I mean, he got lucky. I mean, oh my gosh, the potential. And then like time kept going not his way. Yeah, for me, it's just so many things that could have went wrong there. So I don't know. I think I'd have to stick with a jalapeno. How about yourself?
So it's, God, kids are stupid. I'm like, the whole time I was reading, the first time I read it, I was like, you're walking around with a backpack full of salmonella. Like, you out here, with a defrosted chicken in your backpack. That's not safe to eat anymore.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I mean, and you're right. I don't know what the temperature was like. I don't know any of that information, but it is such a kid thing to do.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bell pepper because I thought, it is a very mild truth.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You weren't really trying to steal the chicken. You were an accidental chicken thief. Now, I wouldn't have wanted the chicken back after it had been in your backpack for 2 hours. And like, I was just thinking about like, you're ruining food. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, even if you waited till you got back to school, he's going to have carry it around for 2. We're going to put it in your locker. Now you're just contaminating your locker. Like, there's a whole lot going on.
Maybe take it to the lunch lady.
Go cook this chicken up for me. Throw this out. Could you get this salmonella for me? So, but I think it's just a dumb kid. That sounds like stupid stuff kids do. Like, it really does. Like, oh, that'd be so funny.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So yeah, kids are dumb. I'm gonna go with a bell pepper on this one. It's only because it's like, you can tell people now. Now you can tell people, but we're just gonna look at you like you're stupid.
Yeah.
Like, that is the dumb. High school kids are dumb.
Just, oh my gosh.
He thought it was funny.
He was like, this is gonna be the one. This is gonna be the one. We're gonna laugh about this for years. It's like, this is stupid, sir. That's one reason why I was so torn with the rating is because in my heart it's a bell pepper, but I still just wouldn't tell nobody because it just makes you sound so stupid that I was like, I think I take it to the grave. That's where I got torn and called it a jalapeno because really, as far as spice level, it's a bell pepper. You can put this on any type of food. No one's gonna say it's spicy, but still keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I got so torn with the rating system. But yeah, no, that's definitely one of those things you look back at when you're an adult and you go, God, we were dumb. And then you see your kids and go, you're gonna continue in those footsteps. Proud of you.
All right, so what do you got?
So my truth today is titled, I staged a robbery to steal from the store where I work. I work for a chain of 24-hour stores. Some time ago, for obvious reasons, I don't want to say exactly how long, I was working overnight. I hated it. It made me fully nocturnal to the point that the sun actually burned my eyes when I went out during the day. I hated the store, hated my town, and hated all of my coworkers. Because of all of this, I was bordering on suicidal, so I would fantasize about just taking the money and leaving for a good while I stocked the shelves. I did this every night for months, but I knew jail would be worse, so I never did it. Well, one day, I was venting to a good friend about how I was feeling, basically telling him a lengthier version of the first paragraph. I figured he would tell me I'm going crazy, and I should quit and find a new job that I don't hate so much. Instead, he and I came up with an idea to stage a robbery and take the money together. We took about 2 weeks to plan, and I even called out of one shift so we could hammer out the fine details. The plan was that he would come in wearing a full face mask, long sleeves, and gloves so that you couldn't tell his ethnicity on the cameras. I also knew all of the camera dead spots, so we planned his escape route in such a way he couldn't really be tracked by them. We had the whole thing rehearsed and ready as if we were putting on a play. So the night finally comes, and I had him wait until my coworker went on a break so we wouldn't have an extra variable to plan around. He walks in during our dead set time of the night, and we start really playing up the whole thing. He's pointing this fake gun in my face, and I'm putting my hands up, shaking my head, all that. He has me lead him to the office where he makes me empty the safe for him. Then he has me empty the registers for him on his way out. I give him a few minute head start while I pretend to be rattled and catch my breath. I pretend I can't stop shaking enough to dial 911, and I finally go alert my coworker that we were robbed and I was too freaked out to do it myself. The cops show up and take my statement. I told them he spoke with an accent that he did not. I fed them a lot of false info to take any suspicion away from my friend. My coworker saw nothing from the break room, so he couldn't give any info himself. It's corporate policy to give robbers whatever they want, so I got no trouble at all. As a matter of fact, they paid me a bonus for handling it so well. They also took me off overnight shifts. Later, I told them I wasn't comfortable here anymore, so I put in a transfer to the town I always wanted to live in. That process got expedited due to the situation. I'm not confessing to get it off my chest so much as I am because I couldn't be happier I did it. My life turned around immediately, and I have never been happier since I was a kid. I used that money to finally start college. TLDR, a friend and I planned a fake robbery of the store I worked at so we could take that money for ourselves. The company then paid me more and gave me a transfer to my dream city. I still work for the same company at even higher pay, and I'm glad I did it every single day.
Wow. There is so much here. So there's so much and there's so many jokes. I don't even know where to begin. Let's talk about you became nocturnal. You became a vampire. You're a vampire now because the sun is burning your eyes.
Yeah, vamp life.
I'm sure there's a level of accuracy there, but I just think that's funny. Like somebody's gonna start throwing garlic at you.
Holy water, the whole nine.
Do you sleep in a coffin?
Right.
You became nocturnal.
Vlad?
Why? But did you just say that you all did this like it was a rehearsal for a play?
Yes.
Like you all like, all right, here are your props. Yes. Here's the costume. Here's the dialogue.
Yes.
Here's the timing.
Yes.
I hope you do stage productions because you pulled. And then he has an accent. He was 6 feet tall. He looked like a really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And you are happy about it because you were able to get the life that you wanted. So I don't even know. Okay. First of all, I would like to give you an Oscar for your ability to go through that armed robbery without issue. There's so many jokes. But for you to get a bonus for stealing and transfer, Yeah, you better. That's a reaper, and he better never ever let anyone else know that's what happened, because there's no getting around that one. I mean, everything you did there was wrong. You knew it was wrong. Your life might be great now, but what happens if you get sad again? Are you going to go resort to that type of behavior again?
Right.
I mean, that's a reaper. That's a reaper all the way. Like you. It doesn't matter how it turned out on the end. Like, oh, everything is good and wonderful. I'm happy now. But, back when you were a vampire, you was rehearsing plays and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's a reaper. That's a reaper.
Yeah. No, I agree. So in reading this one, I'll admit I was shocked. The entire time I couldn't stop reading, I was shocked. And normally we don't do one-offs like that because we try to keep them a little bit shorter. But that one had so much stuff in it, I was like, I have to put it in here. And I mean, just in listening to it, like you said, the amount of planning that took, I was impressed, but I was also kind of sick. And I was like, oh my gosh, the amount of thought process that took, I applaud. But I also would hate to be that company. And for you to keep this a secret, I feel like in a way, even though we would rate this a reaper, we kind of just let your cat out the bag, but you posted it. So it's not really on us. So if their company ends up hearing this and we get a follow-up somehow that this person got canned, that's not on us.
Oh yeah, you put it out in the public
that
ether.
Was you.
That's you.
Yeah, you put that out there.
That's a reaper. Yeah,
absolutely. That's definitely a reaper.
That's a reaper. I sometimes I'm still amazed at some of the things that we read.
Yeah.
And, and I'm not that judgmental in general life. I mean, of course, on the show, that's the whole point of the show. But in general, I'm not that judgmental. But that one, and I want to know how old you were, because I think age plays a role in it. Because,
right.
If your brain's not fully developed, you make dumb choices like steal chickens out of freezers. That's the next shirt. It's gonna be ravioli with ravioli on one side and a frozen chicken on another. But maybe not. But still, that one's really bad. And he's happy now, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there was a follow-up. Somebody had asked, they asked him about how much was it, and he said he didn't want to share too much detail there. But he did state that the friend said he did this as a favor for him and didn't want anything but a month of bills paid. He said he did that for him and then left an envelope with another 5 months worth of bills. So, I mean, it brought up to me like dead presidents along with some other ideas, which we have a friend who has mentioned thought processes of dead presidents like heist before, which totally just shocked me. For that person, I'm sure if you listen, you know what I'm talking about. But for the rest of you, unless that person ever sends in the truth, that's all you're going to get. So
pretty funny. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get.
No.
You never go. So, okay, I have one. It is super short.
Okay.
And I just want to know, and it may not even make the air. So that I'll put that there. It's super short, and I might have to get another one. But ready?
Yeah.
When I sing along to rap music, I freely let the N-word fly. I don't think I'm racist, though. Typically, it's done alone in my truck and certainly not around any urban neighborhoods.
Okay, look. All right. So for those who may not know, because this is a podcast, we're black. All right. African American, whatever term you use is what we are. All right. So I get a little weird about this, personally. I don't really try to police what people do in the privacy of their own, domain. The part that got me was the fact that they don't do it in urban neighborhoods.
Like you just traveling around urban neighborhoods. Oh man, what's that one song? She ain't messing with no broke. Let me turn that down. I'm in an urban neighborhood.
Let me turn that down. That Trinidad James song. Don't believe me, just watch. And that part of it is the part that made me laugh. I mean, I'll be honest. Especially at this time frame, I look at that almost like a bell pepper, just because I feel like the song part of it is kind of something that I think if you could give everyone truth serum, and you could ask a lot of people who are not black, do they do it? You would hear probably more people that even some higher up people at top companies do it. So I wouldn't be as offended. As a matter of fact, you know what it makes me think of? And I'm pausing just so you probably can't keep this in. We took our trip years ago as the crew.
Yeah.
We were in New Orleans. And you kind of learn things as you travel around the country and or just around the world in general and about how people talk. And so from where we're from, in Louisville, Kentucky, if you were talking about somebody who was black, you would say black. That's just how it works. Even African American sounds weird to me. Like if a person who was white would be like, "Oh, my African American friend," I'd be like, "That just sounds like you don't say that when I'm not here." So we were at a restaurant and we were sitting outside and we were trying boudin balls and all these other local delicacies. And the waitress came out. She brought us our check and we were giving kudos for the food. And we asked her, we said, we give our kudos to the chef. And we asked, who it was. And she just kind of just says it real calm, with I don't believe with any malice. And she goes, "It's the colored guy inside." And our group just all looked at each other like,
did she say colored guy?
Yeah, we were like, colored? Since when is colored okay? And I was more offended by colored. I was like, she might as well just said the N-word at that point. And for us,
wait a minute, if she had said, "Is that N-word inside?" Dude, I'd have been like, dude, I'm no more good. That was an amazingly fun trip. And we had a lot of things happen on that trip.
A lot.
But if one of them would have been, that inside made the boudin ball, dude, I think we would have all, I don't know. We wouldn't have gone off because it's just not our group.
Yes.
Well, take it back.
I was about to say,
take it back.
We got some.
I wouldn't have LaMont and Vicky would not have gone off because it's just not worth it.
Yeah, that's not our style. But the others.
Yeah, they'd have
been with it. They'd have been like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need to see a manager."
But if she would say that inside made it, dude, I know it's not. Listen, it is funny to me. She said what she said, and then we all looked at her like, "What the?" And she said it so like casually, and she didn't mean anything negative by it. We just don't say that's not culturally accepted here in this metropolitan with 1 million people living here.
Right.
If someone. Even if I call somebody colored, it would be a problem.
Crazy. Like, colored? What do you mean?
Yeah. So yeah.
Being colored, you can't say colored. That's still weird.
Yeah.
Like, colors is something in a crayon box here. Don't do that.
Right. But that's for us where we live.
Right.
For them, it was perfectly fine. It was a perfectly acceptable, socially acceptable, and I'm glad our people did not wig out.
Yeah.
It was, I don't even know how we figured it out. While we were sitting there, we figured out it was just the local way they talk because the guy came out.
I thought we went in.
Who? No, it was small. We sat outside and ate. I mean, he was like a taller black guy with a bald head.
He came out, yeah. You're right.
Yeah. I think talking with him, we realized she wasn't saying it offensively.
Yeah.
It's just the way that it was just their local dialect to say the color guy.
Yeah.
But it was new for us.
Yeah.
But if she had said the N-word in there, that N-word in there cooking, he putting his foot in it. Dog, I don't even know.
I would have just walked. I probably would have just walked. I would have got up and just walked. Just because I'd have been like, I don't know what else to, not even being mad as much as like you said. I just wouldn't have wanted to deal with the response from the rest of the group. I'd have been like, okay.
And the rest of the entire group
would have been on one.
Except the two of us. The two of us would have been like, yeah, I'm going to go back.
Yeah, you know what? We ain't that far. We're a couple blocks up. We can go.
I'm going to walk that way because y'all about to act a fool up in here.
You already
know.
And
I'm not here for it. I'm not like.
But New Orleans was different. That was different because, I mean, from that to seeing a Winn-Dixie again, which we don't even have here anymore, and then seeing people in the back of like delivery trucks, I guess, like literally.
That was a fun trip.
Yeah.
Going the wrong direction. You know what I wish we would have gotten in here is talking about Macklemore somehow. Because did you get to listen to this?
No, I didn't get to listen to it yet because I didn't know the name of it. So for those who don't know, Vicky has an affinity for Macklemore and specifically a song called, I believe, Willy Wonka.
Yes.
Now, I've never heard the song.
So yeah, if we could ever get, if anybody knows Macklemore or knows somebody that knows somebody, there's 6 degrees of separation here.
Yeah.
If we could get him on our show just to say, you can't pick Truth without you. Oh, Macklemore, solid. If you could do
Macklemore, Ryan Lewis, because I know you you both work together. So.
Please come to our show. You don't even got to come to the show. Listen, I will record you on the phone, and I'm a Macklemore fan that likes and knows one song. Like, it's just one song, but it's my anthem. So yeah, that's my anthem. Yeah, so I don't know how we're going to edit this. It's going to be fun, but
I don't know.
But that is all that we have for this week. It's been very interesting. Oh, I don't think we rated it. You gave it a bell pepper. I didn't rate mine. So how would I rate this? I think it's a bell pepper. It's not going to hurt anybody. Now, you might want to keep it to yourself because of the political climate in which we live in. You may lose everything you own. People want you to die.
Right.
And I don't. But so you may want to keep it to yourself. But it's a bell pepper because it's kind of hard not to sometimes sing along to the song exactly as it is.
Yeah.
You know, so I just thought it was interesting. I wanted to see what you would think or how you would interpret it.
Yeah, I didn't take offense to it, but even, see, you just said something else that made me think. You said it's hard not to sing a song how it is. I mean, growing up, there were a lot of amazing songs by female R&B singers back in the day as a kid. And there were times, and I sing and things like that. There were times where I'd sing songs and I'd have to, I'd catch myself singing a song and the woman would either say man or boy. And eventually I learned to switch it to girl, but it would just be how I would sing the song. I didn't think anything of it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that was how the artist interpreted or had the song. I didn't want to adjust it so that I felt comfortable. Because I'm like, I know I'm singing it because that's how it sounds. I'm not saying it because I'm going, oh, I want to sing to a man, which nothing wrong with that. So
okay. All right, well, that does it for this week. I'm going to actually play Willy Wonka for LaMont as soon as we get off. By the way, the song is called Willy Wonka. It's Macklemore featuring Offset. So, go listen to it. It'll be 3 minutes and 41 seconds of excitement. And then, like, when you hear it, you're going to be like, why do you like this song so much? It's because I don't know. I know. I talked to LaMont about why I liked it. So maybe over time we'll talk more about it because it's my theme song. Came out in 2017. It's my theme song. It really is. And we can't play it here because I's not gonna get sued.
No copyright strikes.
Yeah, right. All right, so that's all for this week. If you like today's show, help us out, subscribe, and send the show to 2 friends. If you've not already done so, join our Facebook group. We talked about it at the beginning of this episode, I think.
Yes.
It's pretty fun. There's a lot of we do a poll almost every week. And it's good to see everyone else's comments and see what they think and how they feel. Because, some people disagree with what we say, and which is fine and what we like, and we like to hear that. So
we like discourse.
And also, if you have a confession yourself, send us an email at picktruthmail@post.com, and you can get your confession read on the air.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget to review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you subscribe.
All right. Thanks. Catch you next time.
Later. We can't pick truth without you.
Send us your truths at picktruthmail@post.com to see if you can bring the heat.